Hello. It's been a bit since I've done a vlog. I'll be going to Content2023 Film Festival in Weatherford, Texas. And to be honest, I'm for some reason nervous. I think it's because I haven't traveled in a bit. So I'm just praying that the traveling will go smooth and that everything will work out. But I've heard a lot of good things about Content, so I'm hoping it'll go very well. I'm hoping, as usual, to learn a lot. My goal is just to go there, have fun, make friends, network, just learn. I don't ever want to go into a film festival and just have like this one set mindset. I always want to try to go with the flow and just enjoy the trip. So it's the night before and I still haven't packed. I need to pack. I'm actually going to use my grandma's suitcase because it fits the American Airlines carry-on dimension size. And look at this suitcase, it's a little dog, isn't that cute? The thing is, I could probably like do a smaller suitcase, but this festival requires you to wear formal attire for the awards ceremony at the end of the week, and I understand why, because it's an event. It's an event to celebrate art and to award people that have done a good job and all that kind of stuff. But it is so hard to pack formal wear. You have to put more stuff in your suitcase. You know what I mean? I have to put heels in this thing. If I didn't have to bring like formal clothes, then I probably wouldn't have to have as big a suitcase as this. But I do. However, this dress is really cute. I'm gonna wear this for the awards ceremony. I think it's pretty formal, and it is also my great grandma's dress that she wore. So I think that's pretty cool. I think it'll be really sweet to wear this in her honor. So I'll be wearing this. Okay, so I am pretty much done packing. I just have like toiletries and that kind of thing that I'll have to like put in tomorrow morning before I leave. I hope it all works out. I will see you guys tomorrow. Okay, so it is Sunday morning. I have everything packed. Well, I hope I have everything packed. I have everything packed. Now I'm just getting ready for my day. And I still need to clean some things. And I'll eat breakfast and then I'll head to the airport. So again, praying and hoping that this trip will go well.
The safety card in your seat pocket explains the safety.
Hot out here.
It's beautiful. One of it was like for under 25 people. Well, it's free. And in particular, like the white producers I was doing for Barbara.
If you win, you can still get your award Friday night.
They don't handle that aspect of it as well.
I've done a short film with, I think,
Okay, so Becky dropped us off, Kasey, Mikayla, and I, to the hotel. Tomorrow there is the boot camps, and I'm very excited but also nervous. John Goad is teaching the actors boot camp, and I've met him twice in the past. He probably doesn't remember me, but we've had some good conversations. And I'm really interested to learn about his methods of acting. He has a different kind of idea of how to approach acting, and I would really like to get in there and like poke his brain, you know, ask some questions and really understand his point of view, his side of things when it comes to acting. So I think that'll be a lot of fun. But that will be like almost an all-day thing. All the boot camps are like from like 10 to 3 or something. It's a long day. And then after that, I have no idea what we're doing. I'm just kind of going with the flow right now. Are you looking at the schedule? Is there ice cream? Oh, that's fun. Yeah, there's a pitch for project funding, so there's dinner. What's great is at this festival, they serve all your meals. Obviously you have to pay for them, it's not for free, but they have all the meals there, so thankfully you don't have to go out and like pay extra money to different restaurants and stuff throughout the day. So that's great. Kasey is doing the comedic screenwriting.
I'm hoping they can give me some tips on
Like how to insert jokes.
Insert jokes, really? That's what you...
Well, just like, yeah, how to insert those comedic moments. Because it can be tricky.
Comedy's hard, to be honest.
It is hard. So I'd like to see what I can learn about that.
I really wanted to do the comedic screenwriting, actually. I thought that would be interesting, because I'm just not good at comedy. It's not something that's comes naturally to me.
I was torn between the comedy and Leanne Barna's screenwriting, but the comedy just jumped out at me.
Yeah.
Because it's not a very common
It's
workshop.
not.
Yeah, because I've been to like multiple general screenwriting workshops, but I've never been to one that specifically focuses on comedy, so that just jumped out at me.
Yeah, absolutely. I would love to hear all about it.
That's gonna be fun.
When I was signing up, I was like, oh my gosh, I want to do this, but I can't like do all of them at the same time, so I have to choose one. So it's nice to have other people that are going to do other things, and you can just take their notes and glean.
I'll let you copy my notes.
Well, I think that's it for tomorrow. Excited for ice cream. Yay. That sounds great. I love ice cream.
messed up homes. Oh, I know. So it's right here, but they also own this area over here. Oh yeah. Do you remember I showed you and your mom?
I did. I figured it out, yeah. Okay, so it is the next day, Tuesday morning, and I did not document my time yesterday because I was really sleepy last night. So I'm going to do it while we're in the car driving to the festival. So I did the Actors Boot Camp. John Goad, I believe his last name is, taught it, and he was so great. I'm not exaggerating. He explains things so well. The first 2 hours, I kind of already knew a lot of the stuff that he was talking about. He talked about different methods of acting and just the foundations of acting, basically. But it was like a good refresher to remember all of that, because I personally haven't taken any acting classes in a couple years now. But the last 2 hours was where it got really cool. He told me about how he doesn't believe in any of the acting methods in theater or film, and that he believes that what we've been taught the last several years is wrong, and that our bodies naturally give us the stress and emotions we need in order to act. We should not be forcing it, because God gave us these bodies, and our bodies naturally do, like if you want to cry, our body will naturally allow us to cry to relieve stress, or our bodies will naturally allow us to laugh and smile because we're joyful and happy. Like, we don't need to force it out. We don't need to think back on trauma or certain memories in our past in order to get a reaction now. There's this nervous system. We all have a fight or flight response in each of our bodies. That's what God's given us. And it's used for anger, for grief, for joy, for surprise, for disgust, and for fear. There's 6 main emotions. And so what we can do, utilize what God has already given us, our flight and fight response. We utilize that as actors. So if we're doing an angry scene, we don't have to think back on a memory like the Meisner method, where you have to think back on like a time in your life that you were really angry. You don't need to do that. You don't need to go back there in the past and try to relive that memory. That's really bad for your mental health. Instead, use your breathing and use your muscles in order to have an angry response in the moment. And then once the director says cut, you calm down, you breathe back normal, and you're all good. You don't need to get out of that mental space that you put yourself in. So basically, the foundation of his method, I guess John's method, is it all comes down to breathing. How you breathe and how your body responds to that breathing.
I learned, like, especially about how there's different types of comedy. I didn't realize there were so many genres within the comedic genre.
There's different genres. Oh, okay, cool. What are some of them?
So there's, of course, we all know the rom-com.
Yeah.
And, like, parodies, too. But some of the stuff I didn't know about was, like, surreal humor and comedy of errors.
Oh, yeah.
Comedy of manners, I thought, was really cool. Where you've just got, like, different classes in society where you're showing how, just the quirks of
society.
Yeah. So we learned a lot about, like, how comedy is structured within a screenplay, and also went over, like, how you structure film to begin with, because sometimes you have to write a good story first and then add in the comedy later, depending on what kind of story you're trying to tell. It was really fun. I'm glad I got to go to that workshop.
So I feel like it was worth it.
Yeah, that was definitely different from a lot of the workshops that I've been to before at other festivals. So,
Becky, do you want to talk about your boot camp at all?
Sure. Yeah, I'm stuck in it. Might as well. See? No hands.
Yeah, we're not doing anything.
Not moving.
No.
Mine was taught by Caleb Phipps, and it was creating your first film. And of course, I'm an actress, but I'm stepping into a producer role for the first time. And so I thought, well, that's advantageous. I should probably take that one because producers wear so many hats. So, you know, basically he covered what you have to do in all of the preparation before you can even begin your film. I found it to be, you know, very educational. A lot of this stuff I had heard, but it was just nice to have it all consolidated into one spot. I happened to be sitting next to a gentleman who was an investor, and I didn't realize that. Really, really kind man. I would be pitching my own production that I'm part of. It's not my own, I'm part of a team, and it's based on a true story, and I'm brought on as a producer, and there's already a writer, a script is in place for this short film, and a director, and then I brought on another producer. So there's 4 of us on this team now, and I'm representing the team at this film festival, and so I got to pitch that after lunch. That was quite exhilarating.
But it worked well.
It worked well, I think. But anyway, right before that pitch, right after lunch, this gentleman leaned over and he said, so tell me about the film that you'll be pitching. And I got probably about 4 sentences into describing this amazing story, and he said, I'm in for $500. I was like, what? I'm an investor. I was like, wow. So that was amazing.
That was a good moment.
Go God. And it gave me that encouragement, that boost that I needed, you know, to just feel a little bit more confident going into this, you know, unknown world to me of pitching. But it was awesome. And then the pitching itself went really well. I walked in, there was like, I thought that there might be 4 panelists there because they said bring 4 pages of your synopsis, but there were probably at least 10 people sitting at this board meeting table, and so I was standing up in front of the table and gave my pitch, and it was just great. I really feel like I found favor. I have no idea if I'll get picked for any funding whatsoever.
You won't find out till like the end of
Friday night during the award ceremony, yeah. And so, you know, and that's okay. You go into it knowing that there are no guarantees. Not everybody's even picked to do a pitch, so that was a huge win. And it was a great experience. Yeah, I'm happy I did it. And so we'll just see what happens.
Yesterday.
Yeah, good day. A lot of networking.
Yeah. What's great about content so far is that they give you a lot of chances to network. Like some festivals only give you like maybe like 15 minutes, 10 minutes. And here it's like you have like hours. You have like an hour in between different events and sessions to where you're able to walk around and talk to people and network. And so I really like that. But already learned a lot, and I feel like this festival already is worth it. So hopefully today will also be like that. But finally we're moving. We're finally driving. All right, so I will end it here, and I will talk to you guys in a couple hours, maybe tonight or tomorrow morning. I don't know. I'm kind of going with the flow this week, because this week's kind of been nuts. Really?
But they punish you by making it.
I think so.
Which one was your best? You really don't. Right back here.
You're not getting to see my big hand jokes. I talk about.
What's this? Like, I'm used to this kind of heat.
I would rather be warm than cold.
Y'all, it's been so nice outside today. I mean, it is hot, but it's not hot for Texas, in my opinion. I just want to sit out here and just enjoy nature and the sun and the heat. It just feels so good. You feel good about it.
You've seen this roundabout, right? Yeah, you were talking about it last night.
Look, there's Jesus in the background.
Jesus is in the
Jesus is here.
He is our background.
He is our background.
This is great. So Monday, I was staying with another friend of ours that's staying with us. She's volunteering for the week, and so I went to the temple with her because that's where they were having the prayer. It was just neat that it was like just sitting there in person, and you could just sit there, and I don't know, it was a lot because I got to ponder, and I'm very, I guess, introspective in that way, you know, and when I go into a place like that where I feel like, all right, the presence of God is definitely here, I kind of go internal, and I'm like, I just need to sit with God. You know? Like, I don't even necessarily really talk to him about a whole lot. I'm just kind of sitting there like, okay, it's just you and me, God, let's just hang out for a while and let me meditate on all of the day, everything that I've been thinking about, everything that I've been going through, you know. And it was really cool too because Caleb Phipps, I think that's how you pronounce his name. Caleb Phipps, he came up to me at the end of the night and he was like, hey, God told me that you had a journey in getting here. And it was so funny because I literally was sitting there, you know, he came up to me, he's like, I think you have a story that you're supposed to tell me, and I don't know if that's something you want to do. And it was really interesting because, I mean, I'm not even joking, before he ever got up out of his chair and walked over there, that's what I was thinking of. Like, man, I wish somebody here knew like the story of what it took to get here where I am today. Yeah, so there was a lot of just logistics and things that, not even just with planning the trip, but just lots of fear and doubt and things going through my head. Even the week before I got here, I mean, I was like, do I even want to go? Like, is it even worth it? And I think it was just a sign that this is where I was supposed to be. And that's pretty much what Caleb said was, you belong here. you belong here. This is where you're supposed to be. This is where God put you. This is where He wanted you to be. And that was just so cool because that has a whole lot of meaning to me personally, the you belong. Honestly, I think it's great if you are kind of into alternative media other than just films and you want to come to a conference like this. This is probably the kind of conference you would want to come to just because of that. Because they're very welcoming towards
everybody's been so nice here.
Yeah. And I would say that too. I would kind of echo that and say everybody's been really, really kind. I don't think I've met anybody. Really, I haven't met anybody at Christian Worldview that was like that either. But I haven't met anybody at this conference where I was like, wow, they really think they're better than everybody else. And I kind of have a little bit of a radar for that, so it's been really cool to just meet some genuine people that love what they do.
You know what, now that you say that, this is the first festival where no one feels like a big celebrity. Does that make sense? No one, and like it doesn't feel like you cannot approach somebody. And like I genuinely can't think of one person where I was like, oh, I don't know if I can talk to them. They're kind of big. Like what if I annoy them? What if they don't like me? What if they're like, oh, why is she talking to me right now? I'm so busy. You know, I have not felt that once here. Everyone feels like they're on equal level. Even the younger people, us younger people, and then younger than us. So like high schoolers, teenagers, 20-year-olds, all the way up to older, more established people. Everybody feels equal. We can all just talk to each other and get to know each other and stuff. That's been really nice. Now that you mentioned that, it's been really nice.
Been really cool. There is definitely a lot of people here that are content creators that are under the age of 25. So if you're younger and you want to find people that are doing the things that you want to be doing, probably also a good conference to go to.
And they wouldn't be the strikeout king anymore. And you know what it is?
And then I have another script that I'm developing right now, a feature film, and it's a young girl that helps her deadbeat, downtrodden dad find true hope, and the hope is in Christ. And it's sort of a family-friendly genre, or family-friendly drama type film. And so the lead actually is going to be a young girl, about 10 years old, and the whole point of it is having childlike faith and finding hope in God, even when other things are going on around you, trouble is going on around you. So, obviously with being in Georgia, I know part of Texas, kind of far away, but if you're interested in anything like that or you want to hear more about it, please do come up to me and contact me. I do have a business card I can give you if you're really interested in that. But yeah, so right now I'm sort of working towards making a proof of concept for it, and then hopefully a feature film. So that's kind of what I'm working on.
Thank you so much for being here in our house and being part of this blessing that the Lord has blessed us with, this awesome Confirming Studios. And I've just tried to be obedient through the years, and I never knew that it would turn out to be like this. And I'm so grateful and thankful to the Lord that it has. And I'm so thankful to share this place with all of you. So hopefully you feel right at home.
Yeah, and then I'll come back in.
I'm alone in my hotel room right now, so I thought this would be a good time just to get everything out there before everybody comes back. I did 2 workshops yesterday, and unfortunately I was kind of disappointed with both workshops that I went to. I was looking forward to them, and they ended up not being that great, unfortunately, just in the sheer fact that I feel like I didn't really learn anything, and that's why I love coming to these festivals, is to learn. So when I go to these workshops, I always hope to glean a lot of things from what I learned from whoever's speaking. And unfortunately, yesterday I just felt like I didn't learn much. The first one I went to was about these 4 people that are making a TV show called Struck the Series, but I thought that the workshop was going to be about how to write a TV show, and I was really looking forward to that because I want to learn how to write a TV show. I think that'd be really fun to learn. And unfortunately, it felt more like a plug for their TV show Strike the Series than it felt like a workshop to teach people. And that room was packed, you all. That room, I think we hold there was 20 people in there maybe, and that room was tiny. But they seemed like really nice people, and they talked about the process of making this series and why they're making it and who it's about and everything. And it sounded like a really cool show. I would like to watch it, but I was just a little disappointed that it wasn't what I thought it was, and so I spent, an hour in there and just kind of felt like nothing came from it. I mean, there were some really cool things they said. Like, there was one thing where they talked about how God has called us to be uniquely qualified. That was very interesting to me. That was an interesting... People, especially me, I'm talking about me, always feel like I have to be the best at this and this and this and this, and if I don't have these certain skills, then I'm worth nothing. If I don't learn this kind of thing, then nothing else matters. I have to have all this stuff in order to be a good filmmaker, to be a good director, to be a good writer, actor, whatever. And sure, you do need to learn things sometimes that you don't really want to learn, but you just kind of have to. But you don't necessarily need all of that. God has made you uniquely qualified for something, and maybe currently right now you don't know what that is, but in the future something's going to come around and you're going to look back and say, whoa, that's what he was preparing you for. That's what they kind of talked about a little bit. And that kind of ties into the next workshop that I went to, that I was also really excited about, but unfortunately I just felt like I didn't really learn a lot. I feel like a lot of things that the speaker talked about was just kind of basic. It was about acting in stage and film, and I was like, oh my gosh, that is right up my alley. Like, I do theater, I do film. Like, I would love to have a discussion on acting in those 2 different platforms. That's so exciting. And unfortunately, it just felt like a very basic. It just felt like a basic conversation about acting in general, not specifically for theater or for film. It just felt like neither of those, but also both of those at the same time. It felt kind of wishy-washy. The speaker was really nice and she's very, very sweet, but I just personally felt like I didn't really learn a lot from it. But there was one thing that really spoke to me. She said, how can you tell good stories if you don't live them? Give yourself time to live in order to tell those stories. If you don't live, how can you? And that really touched me in a lot of ways, because it's kind of felt like these last couple of years I haven't really done anything. I mean, I have done a lot of stuff, I'm not saying that, but I in my head feel like I haven't progressed in my career the way I wanted to. I feel like there's a lot of people my age that have already exploded and are running fast and are getting jobs left and right and doing incredible things in the film industry, and I'm still I feel like I'm still stuck in one place and I've only taken 2 steps. And that's been kind of frustrating, but at the same time I know that there's been so much happening in my personal life that there's no way I could have done anything to advance in my career, or lack thereof. I don't know. I know I've done things, obviously. In this festival, my film is being nominated, so that's an incredible thing. That's awesome. But I just expected more at my age, I guess is what I'm saying. But even though my career life hasn't seemed to have gone anywhere, my personal life, there's been a lot of things that have happened. And because of all those things that have happened, I have now looked at the world and at people and at stories, even my own stories, and have a completely different perspective on things. And I think it's because, like the speaker talked about, I have lived. I have gone through a lot. And because of that, I think now my stories are going to be much more authentic and genuine if they ever get publicly out there. It's taken a while. So that's just something that I gleaned from the acting workshop. So even though I just kind of felt like it was very basic, I did get something out of it. So I appreciate that. So today, this morning, I was really looking forward to the script adaptations, and thankfully it went really well. I thought it did. I learned a lot. That's something that I've always been very, very interested in, and I feel like the speaker who did the session, she did a great job. I just really want to know, how do you become, you know, a screenwriter that mainly does script adaptations? Like, I know that's a big deal. There's script adaptations all the time, so it's not like it's a taboo thing or it's rare or anything like that. I just want to know, how do you start off doing that? How do you get that kind of job? Because that just seems so fun. I did think a lot of things like that when I was a kid. I would have like my favorite books and I would write them. I would always adapt them to like play versions, you know, or musical versions or film versions. And that was always so fun to me as a kid, and I continued to do that all the way up to high school. And then college got busy, so I stopped doing that, but that was just something that I just enjoyed so much, and I would love for that to be some type of job. But I don't know the first thing of how to even get into that kind of field. So it was good. It was a great class. And then we ended early, so I ended up walking to another workshop. It was something called like directing and acting with green screen. The same people that were teaching this class were the guys that were teaching the Struck the Series workshop. But it was just so funny walking into the class, because first off, it's like a really cool room because it's a green screen room. Everything is black, and then you got this like green square in the corner with all these cameras and screens and computer monitors. Like, it's just it's so professional. It's a whole deal. It's really, really cool. But then once you get over the shock of the green screen room, then you start seeing people with like puppy ears, bunny ears. There was one that had a helmet, like a astronaut helmet deal. One had like alien eyes. Like, I don't even know. Like everyone had some sort of headgear on. I was like, what is going on in here? But basically, they put people into groups. There was one director and 2 actors in each group, and basically they gave them all a script, and it was basically an exercise and an experience of dealing with green screen. So for example, if you're an astronaut that is in love with an alien and you're in space and you're having this dialogue, what does that feel like? What does that look like in a green screen room? How do you make that believable and real? And it's just so fascinating. Green screen stuff is just so fascinating. I've never done anything like that, but I always thought it'd be fun to try it out, you know, to act in a green screen or whatever and see what that's like, what's that feel of it, you know. But you do look ridiculous. Like, everybody that went up there to pretend they're an alien or a puppy or a bunny or fish, an angel, like. One thing that I gleaned from was that he said that as a director, you're an idiot until you're a genius. And honestly, that's so true, because I can think of so many articles and documentaries and behind the scenes that I've read or watched where the director is doing a very ambitious project and everyone's like, no, you can't do it. Like, that's so stupid. Like, why are you even trying that? What's the story? Why are these characters like this? And the director's like, no, we got this. It'll be cool. It'll be great. Like, everyone's gonna love it. Just trust me on this. And no one's gonna believe you until you prove them wrong. And it's hard to stand on your own, you know, and be confident in yourself when no one else is confident in you. So that was pretty good. And then we had the Capernaum studio tour, and that was so freaking cool. It was so fun. It was an hour and a half long, but it was worth it. It was hot, but it was worth it. We had 2 of the best tour people. What do you call them? Tourists? No, I'm a tourist. We had 2 of the best tour guides for this. I mean, they were so funny and so kind. It was a daughter, and she said she was like 21 years old, and this is her job. She works at the studio and she loves it. And the other one was her mom. So it was a mother-daughter duo helping with the tour, and they were just some of the sweetest people. But yeah, tomorrow morning there are the panels, and then tomorrow afternoon there is an audition. Becky told me about it, how Nathan Blair is doing auditions for his newest film coming up, and I've auditioned for him once, and I did pretty well, but this will be the first time where it's a live audition in front of him and other people, and I haven't done a live audition since college. And I got the script Tuesday night, and I haven't been able to really look at it. I'm trying to memorize it, but I've been told you don't have to fully memorize it, like, because Nathan understands that's that there's a lot of things going on. You just got the script, like, it is what it is. So there's gonna be some grace with that. But I don't know, I'm not nervous, but I want to do a good job. If not for anybody else, just for me. I want to know that I did a good job. Becky and I will go audition tomorrow afternoon. And then after that, I don't know what's happening. I will talk to you guys tomorrow, hopefully, sometime. I'm not sure. This week I've just kind of recorded whenever I could. Good night. So it is 6:46 and the last time I recorded I was walking up to the audition building room and that was like at 3:10. So yes, it's been a very long afternoon. I did not know it was going to go that long and it was extremely hot. I got to the point where I was getting really nervous that I was going to get a little sick, so I kept going back and forth inside the pavilion and then coming back and just back and forth. And I was a little frustrated waiting around and stuff because they first did it was like a first come first serve at first, and then they realized how many people were showing up, so then they ended up deciding to do the list instead. And I was so close when they were doing the first come first serve. I was so close to getting in early because I was one of the first ones that was there, so I was the next group, and then they decided to change it. So then I was like, bummer. I can't do this anymore. I need to go back inside and relax for a second. And then I came back out, found Becky, and we both helped each other on the script and stuff. Thankfully, John's method, I guess I could say John's method on Monday worked for me. It usually takes me a very, very long time to memorize a script, and I was able to memorize a one and a half page-ish scene. And I guess, well, last night I started, and then a couple hours today I kept working on it. So just a couple of hours of looking through it, memorizing it, and I actually knew it in my head. I actually could act it out and speak it out loud. Like, I am just so mind blown. That's never happened to me. It usually takes me days to memorize something. So I was just over the moon. I was so excited to test out my theory at the audition room if I could actually pull it off and not look at the script. And I did. I pulled it off. So I'm so happy. I need to tell John and tell him how happy I am. But then, golly, it was probably 6 at that point. Came back out, and Becky and I were still waiting. Becky was going before me. We were still waiting. Thankfully, it got less hot because the sun started going down and stuff. But still, there were some people there that I think have been there all day long. Like, they stayed all the hours outside. I don't know how they did it. I would not have survived.
I actually did.
Girl,
I stayed.
You stayed outside? Oh my gosh, that is dedication right there.
Well, because for the first part of the section, I thought I was on the first page when I signed up. But unbeknownst to me, the first page had been removed when I signed up, and I was really
we both just made it in before they decided to take a break. Thank the Lord, because I was like, I don't know if I could have waited till 8 o'clock. I might have just said, you know what, I'm not doing this.
Yeah.
But Becky was able to go in, and then I was finally able to go in, and then that's when they made the announcement that they were going to take a break after the next 7 people or something like that. And so I was like, oh my gosh, thank the Lord. Like I was just like, I was about to cry because I was so relieved. After being outside all those hours, like, I don't know, you start getting a little hysterical. Start getting a little crazy, especially in the heat like that. I think if the weather was fine, it wouldn't have been that big of a deal, but it was hot. It was in the 90s here. It's Texas. What can you do? So yeah, I walked in, and super nice. Nathan Blair was in there, and he was so encouraging. He's like, hey, how you doing? I was like, I'm good. He's like, are you nervous? And I'm like, I'm a little bit nervous, but I'm ready. And he's like, that's awesome. Well, I'm here for you. You're gonna do a great job. I promise. Introduced myself, my name, where I live, that kind of thing. Who I'm auditioning for, that sort of thing. And I took about quite a few long seconds before I started because I needed to like take a deep breath. Because I've been waiting for hours, and now I'm finally here, and it's gonna end before I know it. So I just wanted to take it all in. And then yeah, I started, and I was actually able to not have to look at my script and actually able to say my lines. And I did fumble a little bit in the middle, but to be honest, like, what can you do? And I think I did pretty well at recovering and moving on. And I just felt in character. I felt like I was in the world. I took all of John's instructions and just downloaded it into my brain and just did it. And I feel so proud of myself. I really, really do. I feel like I accomplished something this week that I've never been able to accomplish before in acting. And then Nathan said, he's like, see, I told you could do it. Like, you did an awesome job. And I was like, thank you. And so then gave him my information and stuff. And then as I was walking out, I just felt so elated. I was so freaking happy. I was like, I felt relieved. I was so excited. Like, I just felt like I wanted to do like a victory dance or something. I was just so, I was so happy. It's finally the end of the day. And I don't even know what's happening tomorrow, and to be honest, I don't care right now. I'm really tired. It's been a very long week. And thankfully tomorrow is the last day. The award ceremony's tomorrow. So we gotta get all dressed up, dolled up, and whatever. Hopefully I'll get some sleep tonight after being in the sun for like 5 hours today. It's been a long day. Can you go? Hello, can you go? I bet you were fantastic in limbo. This is the Chosen set. It's actually really cool. I do like how one of the guys said, just make a good story and don't shoehorn in any Jesus stuff in there.
That is true.
That was really really good, because I think that's something that a lot of Christian films get it wrong, is they'll make a story and they'll be like, wait, we gotta put like a church scene in there, we gotta put in a prayer, we gotta put in a something. Yeah, and it doesn't fit. And so it kind of ruins the storyline.
I have to say the ones that I think have the most, like I have noticed, impacted me the most are the ones that are more subtle. That they're not on the nose. Things along the lines of Narnia.
Yeah.
And other movies that aren't explicit, but you see those themes of the truth in there. So I really think there needs to be less trying to squeeze a sermon into a film. And it's like what we were listening to with the Plugged In.
Yeah, we had a long conversation yesterday, like a 2-hour conversation about this very exact topic.
Yeah, talking about how Protestants in general are not as good at figuring out how to use the visuals.
Yes, the visuals, yeah. But the Catholics are really good at the visuals, but not so much great at the words, the dialogue. Yeah. Protestants get too wordy, and Catholics might get lost in the visual aspect. And there's not a lot of good in between.
You know, maybe we just need to work together more, and then you'll have something that works well in the middle.
Yeah. Combined. Combine and conquer.
Yeah.
I think that, even in this season, or even in workshops like that, you can be new or you can be super seasoned, and it's just always really good to get back to the foundation and to remember some of those key elements, like, study your script, get to know, the director, and ask for the script if you can get it. Just some of those little minor things that can actually make your audition good. Don't be so stressed about certain things. Remember the basics, and then after the audition, you forget it. You throw the script away, basically, is what I think is important. Just toss it away and don't remember it anymore, because if you continually dwell on that role and continually dwell on the audition, it could inhibit the next audition. You just gotta, our job as an actor, our job is to audition, and so you just gotta keep going. And another thing too is to not apologize immediately. Never apologize when you walk in. Just state the facts. She gave that example of the girl who has laryngitis, and you walk in and you do an audition and your throat is coming crackly. You don't have to apologize for that. Don't say I'm sorry for having a sore throat. Just explain the facts. This is what happened, and my voice is a little bit gruff or whatever, and then you move on to your audition. But I think that was another good reminder to not apologize. Just state the facts, and because I guess at a point in that was an apology is in that context, not in like a true forgiveness situation, but in that context, an apology can actually sound like you're making excuses.
I think that's really good advice for women in general, because we have a tendency to say I'm sorry a lot. It's not because we're sorry for anything, but it lowers our position, and that's something that I'm trying to work on personally, is to, unless I am truly apologizing for something, that I'm not going to say I'm sorry, because I didn't do anything wrong.
Yeah.
So, removing that from your vocabulary, or at least being more intentional about why you say it, instead of it being filler.
Mm-hmm. Well, and then we're also so conditioned. I don't know if this is a woman thing or not, but guys, you don't hear guys walking around saying they're sorry 10 times a day, But women, like you said, what is it? Why is that we are, is it because we don't feel like we deserve that position of authority? Is it because we feel like we are, downplayed a lot. I mean, it could be a mixture of multiple things, and so that's a really good reminder. She even sees it in the auditions, and so I think it was a good, not only just a good audition tip, but you're right, it's a good life tip to not be sorry.
Don't be apologetic if you have no reason to apologize.
Anita Cordell. Second winner is Doobie for Hope, Elisheba Perry. Now, this team is people who are kingdom-minded, love Jesus, and want to give to the kingdom through me. So here we go. The first one who will receive a donation of $5,000 is Becky Bartlett.
Thank you so much, kingdom-minded investors. I will tell you very quickly, I am an actress and not a producer, but now I am. Because it happened with a Facebook post this July. I simply posted, and someone who had already written a short script about this true story of Swedish missionaries going to the Congo in 1921 commented on my post, and they said, this story needs to go to film. I posted it a year ago, and I've already written a short script, and would you like to talk? I said, sure. This person who wrote it is Leona Worcester. Sorry, I'm like, whoa. And then the director is Larissa Loeffler. They too had teamed up a year ago and were sitting on it because they needed a team. And I just happened to share a Facebook post that not just happened, right? That's God. So now I'm a producer, and I brought on Laura May, and she's also going to be a producer. So we've got 4 women supporting the Swedish missionary in 1921 in the Congo was only able to witness to one village boy. They were blocked from the very village that they were brought to by the village chief, but he allowed this village boy to go and sell his eggs and chickens to them. And so she said, isn't 2 years worth one soul? For 2 years she witnessed to this little boy. And then she died after childbirth, after having a little girl. Her husband left the mission field, angry to God, turned to alcohol. And then our story follows that little baby girl as she's raised by Americans, renamed, and I just had to watch the movie. But she finds out at a conference in 1968 that the speaker is none other than that little village boy. And he's there to report what was happening in the Congo since her parents were there. And he reported 110,000 baptized believers in the Congo. Back in 1968. Thank you so much.
recording?
I am. It's just so high up.
It is, oh goodness.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
There we go. That works. Yeah, go, go, go.